Okay, so today we'll debate whether or not we should help Bosnia in its conflicts. I will now present you the representatives of each country. So, this is the representative of France, USA, Russia, UK, and China. Now Bosnia can present its case.
Who here has children? How would you like it if your child wanted to walk down the street? While he was walking, he got shot from a mile away, straight through the head. That's the conflict that's now happening in Bosnia. Now, I've come here today to ask people, the UN, for help. I would really enjoy if we had 15,000 peacekeepers come to Bosnia and help us. Now, the conflict started 4 weeks ago, and it is very bad. The reason for the conflict is because Serbia does not agree with the Muslims and the Croats that are living in Bosnia. 60% of the entire population is Croat and Muslim. So it's 60% of the population that has been kicked out right now. And it's just horrific. Today, a reporter Fresh fighting reported today near Adriatic town of Neum, which is close to the Croatian border. The army of Yugoslavia and Croatian forces are fighting them right now. And just a couple of minutes ago, the Sarajevo radio station at Bosniak Brod reported that Yugoslavian jets are flying and circling the city earlier today. Now, Serbians are completely armed and they can fight. Now, I would really like your help.
Okay. So now the representatives can ask Bosnia questions and talk between each other. Does anybody have any questions?
How would you want peacekeepers to take action?
Now, the main city, we would like most of the peacekeepers to go there, as that's where most of the fighting are going. We do not want violence, as random killings are terrible. We would really just want people to keep the peace between Serbia and Bosnia settled.
Well, there will be a sort of conflict between Serbia and our peacekeepers if we would like to go against Serbia.
We understand. I think there should be a limit to the amount of weapons that are brought into our country. Russia.
What if war does break out and they don't have the right amount of firepower? How are they supposed to defend themselves?
Yeah, Serbia will be able to win over us anyway.
Now, I think if a large amount of people just come to the country, they can talk to the Serbs, they can befriend them, and that would just not be violence. Sure, you can have some guns, some tanks, but not too much, please.
But how will we talk to the Serbs without army, without arms? Because they could get angry and overrun us.
I don't see the point of the UN getting angry with the Serbs. And pretty much just no violence, they will not retaliate, and we will not retaliate, the UN.
But how would the Serbs, right now they are killing everyone, how can you assure us that our people that we're going to send into
Well,
Serbia won't get killed?
you guys are the UN, and a law states that as soon as people from the UN start being killed, that much more forces can go. So as soon as Serbia starts killing people from the UN, send in all forces if you want.
But the UN isn't going to go anywhere. Our military is going to...
Sorry, speak louder.
That not the UN isn't going to be sent into Bosnia. It's the military.
The UN military.
Well, I decide that we should not interfere because if something happens in our country or anywhere else, personally, we think we should not interfere with anyone else's affairs because it is their problem right now, and we want to stay neutral and
Well,
not do anything.
I cannot promise you anything from our country. We cannot offer anything. So if you want to help, you can. If you don't want to help, conflicts will come after. France?
Me and my country do think that if a country is in need, that we should always help since that we're in the UN. And we really like your proposal, and we think about sending in some troops and militaries to help save people, and we are very much likely to help.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much, France. UK?
We would also like to help you in this conflict, as we feel that the human rights of the Bosnians are being taken away from them, as they do no longer have the right to live or to exist and safety from violence, and they no longer have the right to education and healthcare.
We have the same views, thank you. Russia?
Okay. Russia just cannot afford to go into war. There's still Russia itself is still recovering from Second World War, and we have very outdated weapons. We just don't have the men facilities to go into war. For more information, 1992, the first year of economic reform, retail prices in Russia are finally increasing with high amounts, 2,520%. A major cause of increase was the control of the most prices in 1992. And one other reason, in both countries, Slovakia and Russia, we established diplomatic relation on the 25th of May. So we're in a relation with Slovakia, so we can't help you.
Do you believe that just because you're friends with them and that you have diplomatic immunity with them, something like that, that you agree with all the killing they are doing?
I don't agree with it, but it's just we are finally getting our rebuild again. We're finally having our new revolution again. We're being new again. We're having a new start. It's just that we can't afford to help you.
I agree with Russia. We both condemn violence, but we do not wish to interfere.
We are not convinced yet that our country will not be greatly affected by us sending in the military. But if you can convince us one more time, just tell us what you found.
The UN
Exactly.
is the most powerful army this world has, especially with the USA being in it. And as soon as Serbia sees that the UN has interfered, they will back down. That is my view.
How long do you think it will take before you back down?
Well, first when you intervene, of course there will be fights, rallies even, and Bosnia every single Bosnian wants that the UN helps. I cannot put a date into it. I would say I would personally want 14,000 UN militaries to come the next week to surround the borders of the entire Bosnia, and I would say year tops.
Okay, now it's finished. So, Bosnia, do you have any last words to address before we're going to start voting?
Just remember that we Bosnians can't even walk onto our own streets without being killed. And if you find that perfect, then don't help us. But if you're against that, please help us.
Okay, so now who's pro the decision to help Bosnia and who's against the decision? So the ones who are for, lift your hands, please. Okay, yeah, who are against? It's just Russia and China.
So we have agreed that you will send up to 20,000 UN soldiers to Bosnia.
You said we were supposed to send 14,000, so I said 15,000.
So should we agree on 14,000 in the next week?
Okay.
We will send as many soldiers as necessary for you to solve your problem.
Which is what you thought.
Thank you, China.
Okay, so just some common facts. The United Nations is preparing to deploy a bulk of 14,000 members, peacekeeping force in the war. Torn regions of Croatia beginning next week. Peacekeeping operations headquarters in Sarajevo, Bosnia, and the capital of Bosnia. But the deployment plan does not force actual peacekeeping operations inside the Republic's borders.